Joining us on this Zoom will be linebacker Henry To'oto'o, defensive back Jordan Battle, and D lineman Phil Mathis. Also occurring at this time on a separate Zoom are Alabama defensive coordinator Pete Golding and linebacker Will Anderson Jr. Please check your email for the login information to join that session. For media attending here, we thank you for joining us. Please use the raise your hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. We'll call on you prior to you asking the question. Please state your name and affiliation as you ask your question. We'll start now with an opening statement from Henry. Thanks for joining us, and please give us an opening statement about your excitement about playing the college football playoff versus Cincinnati before we open the floor for questions.
Definitely a huge blessing to be here. Team's excited. We're all excited, so it's a huge blessing and a testament to, the hard work that we've put in this season. Just got to be able to finish strong, keep our head focused for this week. Huge challenge for us. Cincinnati's a great team. They do a lot of great things on offense and defense. We're looking forward to the challenge.
Again, for our assembled media online, please use the raise your hand function to get your question in for linebacker Henry To'oto'o. If you would give us some insight on what the last month has been since winning the SEC championship and getting to this point of landing in Dallas.
Yeah, definitely fundamental football. Going back to, watching previous games throughout the weeks that we had and just trying to clean up our fundamentals, being able to fix little things that we can improve on and use during this game and be able to execute on the field during this game. So, these past couple of weeks and this past month has been huge for us.
We have a question now from Maxwell Donaldson. Maxwell, go ahead, please.
Henry, so Pete Golding was just asked about the turning point in the other press conference of the season for the defense. What do you think was the turning point for you guys?
I feel like the turning point for everybody and this whole entire team was, when we lost versus Texas A&M. We kind of just molded and came together as a team, and, it's a feeling that you never want to feel again. Being able to take a loss, taking it to the chin, is something that we, never, ever wanted to feel again as a team. So we kind of came together as a team and be able to do what we have to do to be able to be in the position that we are now.
Next question comes from Paolo. Go ahead with your question, please.
Hey, Henry, I'm curious for you, transferring into Alabama, is this kind of what you envisioned when you made the decision to go there and ending up in these games? And what do you think about the fit between you and the team has allowed for you to have such a good season this year?
Obviously when you come to Alabama, you're going to compete for championships. But for me, I just wanted to be able to come in and mold with the guys, be a brother to everybody, and just be that guy they can depend on either on or off the field, and just be a good brother and a good friend to them. You come to Alabama to play for championships. I honestly think it's just the bond that we had and the bond that I created with everybody to be able to, have this success. Your relationship doesn't only last on the field but off the field. So it's a true testament to, everybody on our team.
Next question comes from John Talley.
Hey, Henry, in your first year here at Alabama, what do you feel like is maybe the one area or areas that Pete Golding has helped you the most in terms of your growth as a player?
Definitely knowing the entire defense and knowing what, everybody's supposed to do. Coach Pete's a great coach at literally everything, honestly. He knows how to critique the little things, but, I think he's really helped me in my game and in the little things and the critique that I need to make. So I appreciate everything he's done for me.
Taking questions for linebacker Henry To'oto'o, please use the raise your hand function so we can get your question into the mix. Question now from Joseph Hoyt.
Hey, Henry, this is Joseph Hoyt from the Dallas Morning News. A lot of the questions for Alabama and Cincinnati people have been about Jerome Ford, obviously being a former Alabama player. You didn't play with him. I'm just curious, from a guy who didn't play with him, what have you seen on film from him?
He's a ball player. He can play ball. Cincinnati's whole entire team can play ball, and Jerome Ford is one of those guys that they depend on him to to make explosive runs, and he does a great job of it. So I think he's a really, really good player, and it's a huge challenge for us to be able to stop him.
Another question from Pale. Go ahead, please.
I'm just curious. There's players on both sides of the ball, and both teams who have transferred into the programs or transferred. In the case of Jerome from Alabama to Cincinnati, you entered the transfer portal and ended up at Alabama. What do you think about how is it? What was that process like, and what do you think the transfer portal has done for college football?
I think for me personally, it was a really long process, a long decision that I had to make. But I honestly think the transfer portal is good. A lot of people be able to find what's best for them. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is. We're human too. Players are human too, and we have a life to live, and we want to have a successful life too. So I think the transfer portal is huge. It's a blessing for a lot of people, and you can see people using advantage of it.
Any final questions for linebacker Henry To'oTo'o of Alabama? Joseph, go ahead, please. Joseph, you had a follow-up question?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Henry, kind of a follow-up to that transfer portal question. I guess, how hard ultimately is it when you're a high school senior to make that, that decision when it comes to committing to a place? And do you think sometimes maybe players just need to kind of go somewhere, get a lay of the land and figure out what's best for them and ultimately then use the transfer portal to their advantage?
That's up to the person. Players on their decisions is around, it's them, it's their decision. That's how I, honestly feel about it. But that's only, it's your decision. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie.
Henry, thank you very much. Thanks for joining.
Appreciate it, buddy. This chair is kind of.